Once, the Buddha said to Kashyapa, "What mind is the mind that is tainted by sexual desire, that shakes in anger, or that is blinded by ignorance? Is it the mind of the past, the present, or the future? If it is the mind of the past, it has already disappeared. If it is the mind of the future, it has not come yet. And if it is the mind of the present, it no longer remains. The mind is neither within, without, nor anywhere else. Because the mind has no form, it cannot be seen with the eyes, and it cannot be touched. The mind does not appear. It cannot be recognized. It cannot be named. No Tathagata has ever seen the mind. It cannot be seen now, and it probably will not be seen in the future. How does such a mind work? Because the mind is an illusion, it appears in many different forms from the deluded discriminations. Because the mind is like the wind, it travels far and cannot be caught, and it does not show its form. Because the mind is like the flowing river, it passes without stopping. Because the mind is like the flame of a lamp, when it is lit by a cause, it lights up the environment. Because the mind is like lightning, it does not even remain for a moment, and it ceases in a split second. Because the mind is like an empty space, it becomes dirty from unexpected smoke. Because the mind is like a monkey, it cannot stay still for even a moment, and it constantly moves around. Because the mind is like an artist, it creates many different forms. The mind does not stay in one place. It generates many doubts at once. The mind goes alone. It is not merged with a second mind. Because the mind is like a king, it rules everything. Because the mind is like an enemy, it brings up all the suffering. Because the mind is like a house built with sand, it thinks impermanent things are permanent. Because the mind is like a gadfly, it thinks that what is dirty is clean. Because the mind is like a dream, it believes that what is not mine is mine. Because the mind is like an enemy, it always awaits and rejoices at weakness. As the mind is moved by self-righteousness or shaken by anger, sometimes it becomes arrogant, and sometimes it becomes dishonorable. Because the mind is like a thief, it steals all the good roots planted in the past. The mind likes beautiful color, like a moth that flies into a fire. The mind likes sound, like the sound of the drum on the battlefield. The mind likes the smell of decadence, just as a boar likes the smell of a rotten corpse. The mind likes taste, like a dog that salivates when looking at food. The mind likes the sensation of touch, like a fly stuck to an oily plate. Even if you exhaustively observe the mind like this, the true nature of the mind cannot be known. It cannot be found. The thing that cannot be attained does not exist in the future, in the present, or in the past. The thing that does not exist in the future, in the present, or in the past exists by transcending the future, the present, and the past. The thing that exists by transcending the 3 time periods is neither existent nor non-existent. The thing that is neither existent nor non-existent is never created. The thing that is never created does not have self-nature. The thing that has no self-nature does not arise. The thing that does not arise never ceases. The thing that never ceases never passes. If it does not pass, there is neither going nor coming. There is neither dying nor being born. The thing that has neither going, coming, dying, nor being born has no creation of cause and effect. The thing that has no creation of cause and effect has neither creation nor change. It is in the state of inaction. This is the innate nature of a saint. Just as empty space is equal to wherever it is, that innate nature is equal in everyone. That innate nature has no discrimination between different beings, because in the end every being is from one essence. Because the innate nature that has departed from such discrimination of the body or the mind is peaceful, it follows the path to nirvana. Because that innate nature cannot be defiled by any suffering, it is pure. Because that innate nature has no attachment of, I am doing something, or the attachment of, mine, it is not mine. The mind's true nature is neither truthful nor untruthful. Ultimately, it is balanced because it is not biased toward anything. That true nature is the most supreme truth. It transcends this world. Because that true nature is not originally created, it can never cease. Because that true nature always exists, it is eternal. Because that true nature is the most supreme nirvana, it is happiness. Because that true nature has been purified of all defilements, it is clear. Because that true nature has no ego when you look for it, it is egoless. That true nature is absolutely pure. Therefore, one should quest for the wisdom within and not drift outside oneself. Even if someone is angry at you, do not be angry in return. Even if you are getting beaten upon, do not beat upon the other person in return. Even if you are being criticized, do not criticize others in return. Even if you are being mocked, do not mock the other. Then, look into your mind and see exactly who the focus of anger is, who is being beaten up, who is being criticized, who is being mocked. Spiritual seekers should thus collect their minds and should not be shaken in any situation. From the Kashyapa chapter of the Heap of Jewels Sutra.